Okay, so welcome everybody to the Speaker Essence of Mastery Summit 2022 speaker meeting. I'm really glad you could all join us today. Thank you for being here. I didn't see the need to have Kelly or Nora on this because I think we're past the technical, and whatever you need help with, if I can't answer it, I'll make sure that they do. But before we get started, Simon was asking me about how I felt about the ticket sales so far this year. And I was saying that they're just a little slower than we're used to. So I wanted to get your advice as to what you think we could be doing differently or better, or how can we improve this? What do you think?
I don't know about advice, but just to say, like, we're seeing at Georgetown, we're seeing slightly lower application numbers as well. So I wonder whether after 2 years of the pandemic and people doing so much stuff online, there's a little bit of a dampening effect in people signing up for things.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't solve the problem, but this is a pattern that we're seeing a little bit. So.
Well, one thing that I know that we offer really uniquely is that this is the only event that I know of that is entirely devoted to coaching mastery at the MCC level, and has 22.5 ICFCCUs. And because it's launching International Coaching Week and it's all live for that entire week, there's some unique, and it's a really low ticket price. Like even at the $497, it's still a bargain. So I'm wondering if, like, there may be a dampening effect. I'm just wondering, does anybody else have any ideas or some insights at all? Well, one thing I am doing is I'm doing a free webinar on April 28th. Which you're all invited to if you would like to join me, or invite anybody to join us as well. And it's on the 3 key reasons that applicants aren't passing their MCC performance evaluation. I thought that might get a little bit of attendance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry, Jaya, I received emails that 2 people have signed up with my code, which I don't see in the affiliate sheet. Oh, Jaya, let me look into that. That's actually Nora.
I think when somebody signs up, you get a mail. So I received 2 emails, which I don't see is reflecting in affiliates. I'm just inquiring as to what it could be.
I'll pass that concern on to Nora and just make sure that everything's, she's the kind of technical genius behind the scenes that managed to, you know, make everything work. So I'll let her know, and we'll see what to do about that, and we'll reach out to you. Thank you for letting us know.
Well, if you will send that promo about April 28th to me, I'll pass it through to my database.
Sure. I'm trying to remember the date because we have all the emails ready to go, and you're all in our email list, but we didn't want to do it too soon because people forget, and we're already sending a lot of promo emails, so we don't want to inundate them with too many things. Let me see if I can remember the date that that's going out on. Hang on just a sec. I should have that in our Google Docs. Okay. Oh, it's a separate series. Okay, hang on just a sec. Let's see. You know what, I'm not going to be able to get this information right away, but you will get a copy of them. You're all in our email list. Have you all had a chance to log into Member Vault and just have a look around? Do you know what I mean?
For some reason, I'm not able, excuse me, Annie. For some reason, I can't re-enter, and I'm using the same details I was originally and can't get in again. So my email address and my first name as password. It's not accepting it.
No. Member Vault is your.
Oh, Member Vault.
Yeah, Member Vault is your entire email address as your username, and your entire email address is your password.
That would be it.
So Member Vault is where all of the videos and audios and recordings are kept, but nothing's going to be released as a recording until June 1st, because it's going to take time after the live events to edit them. I hope we're not even pushing it at June 1st, because there's a lot of work to do to get those done, but I know we're going to do our best to get them out by June 1st. So do you know what we mean? Does everyone know what I mean but when I say Member Vault? Okay, because that's what we refer to when we say our private members access area. That's where everything lives. That's where all the content is from every year. And one of the things that we're working on, and it's just really complicated for some reason, is we're having an entire speakers directory from every year we've ever had. So everybody will get in there, and there'll be a link to the topic that you did, and all of these other things, bios, everything will be in there. So it just keeps growing and growing, but we have 6 years to propagate in there, and it's a lot of work, and it's way more complicated than I could have ever imagined. So it's going to be there eventually, I hope, sooner than later, I think, I hope. Fingers crossed. Yeah. So what questions do you have for me, if any?
This is slightly tangential, but it's a question and it is related to promotion. I seem to work best in an interview format. And in addition to conducting interviews with everyone who's part of the Essence of Mastery Summit, I was wondering, Annie, if you would be open to doing just like a video interview about what EOM is that I could use on my platforms.
Are you kidding? Of course, yes. And we can talk about any topic, because I'm also a speaker. So you can interview me. You can either do a separate one just with me, with my topic, which is Stop Trying So Hard, which is one that we get a lot, right, as anybody who mentors MCC applicants. And we can talk about the summit, or we can do both. We can make a special promotion. There's a lot of things that we can do together, and we're happy to promote, to partner with you.
And as I'm speaking out loud, I don't see why we can't just come up with combinations of anyone here and anyone who's going to be speaking at the summit to do similar things. Last week, I had a real epiphany, because I had I guess it was a couple weeks ago, I had applied to present something at the Capital Coaches Conference. And as I was trying to fill out the rubric, I was like, my God, the reason that this is so hard for me is that my understanding of what Coach Mastery is that it's not a transmission of expertise. And that's what is asked of us so much. And I find that, you know, gathering 3 of us together for a conversation communicates so much more about what Coach Mastery is than, well, this is what I know, and this is what, you know, you need to know. And I think that doing things like that, I could be much more effective at garnering interest in the summit.
You're really good at promoting, Gideon. I've been watching you, and your information, like how you present it, is very professional. It's very engaging. It's very compelling. You tell us, and we'll set up dates, and we'll be there. Just let us know.
Experiment with everyone. It's all experimentation.
Mm-hmm. Well, how can we support you on that, Gideon? Tell us what you need.
I think conversation and concision are the 2 words that come to mind. So very concise conversations about, and we want to think about this ahead of time, but like what we see the value proposition of spending time with MCCs is, because frankly, it's different from most of what's being offered. And I think that there are a couple of obstacles. One is that I often feel put on a pedestal by people I talk to, and I love any opportunity to dismantle that pedestal. But there's the pedestal, and then there's the desire to have information transmitted or knowledge transmitted. And I think that just educating people, having short conversations, recorded conversations that educate people on how this is very different from that and still quite valuable to them.
It's one of the reasons why, if you go on the website, the essenceofmasterysummit.com website, on the main page. So last year, Teresa Friend and myself Teresa Poole, had a conversation about why an MCC, what's important about an MCC. And this year, Carly Anderson is my guest, and we had a conversation, and that's on the site as well. And so we keep getting little snippets, but I think that's great. I mean, it doesn't have to be long. It could be 5 minutes. You can, just show up. You tell, like, if you want, Gideon, would it be helpful? Tell us when to show up, and we'll arrange schedules and have 2 or 3 of us, maybe, whoever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be awesome. And I see Sima raising her hand.
Well, I'm just wondering, we're all on the call now. What if we were to just take, let's just, impromptu, spontaneously, just say something each, or 2 or 3 of us say something about how excited we are to be able to share the conversations we've been having here with all of you in May and in June. And let's just run with it and see. And Gideon, I'm assuming, because you are awesome at this, that you have a capacity to edit and, whatever.
And that's the funny thing. I prefer to just have short conversations that require no editing, because that's so much
well, then let's just do something, because a lot of us here, I wish more of us were, because we're missing 1 or 2 other folk. So that's one opportunity, definitely. Let's consider that, because you're all looking so beautiful. The second request I have of you, Annie, is I wonder whether we could put together some sort of infographic. I don't know what it is, but a visual, something short and sweet and sharp that sits alongside the marketing that we already have available with the, all the work that you, Kelly, and Nora have done. And we put together, or you put together, a blog, which I'd like to be able to then distribute out through the ICF channels, again through the foundation, and we share the same ICF media channels from the foundation, which I'd love for you to speak to, that almost that very first conversation you and I had about the value for why you do what you do. What is the intention for creating this conversation to invest into your foundation? And I would love for you to speak to that and make that more tangible, so more folks know of it, rather than, and I know this is important for folks who are chasing a credential. It stands beyond just ticking this for the sake of having a credential. This is meaningful beyond that. So if you're able to do that, it would really speak to us, and I would want to push that along for a blog that we might put through our ICF channels.
Sima, do you think that we could have a conversation, you and I, on that, just you and I, and then, because I want to get a little bit more out of your head what it is that it sounds good. I just want to make sure I know what you mean.
Okay.
So rather than spending time here right now,
Of course.
Would that be okay? And then I'll reach out to you and we'll get that happening. That sounds amazing. So I'd like very much to do that. Yeah. And Gideon, what do you think about recording something now? I mean, I can hit stop recording and then hit another record, and
Give me a moment to just come up with a fun angle, and I think, yes, that would be a good idea.
okay.
Do I need to go get lipstick?
You look
Absolutely.
beautiful, Sima. Everybody here looks absolutely gorgeous. By the way, I want to just ask you all, I have a brand new camera and a new lighting system. Is it good? Is it sharp? Does it look like I have
Really
good light
nice.
on my face? Okay,
Yes.
Perfect.
good. It's an HD camera, so
Mm.
I thought my iMac would have a really, really good camera, but nope, it's not very good. So I changed it.
In fact, while we're talking about the audio visual, I have a couple of questions. Will we be having a branded slide deck that each of us use for our presentation, or are we just using our individual ones? And secondly, do you have a virtual background that we're all going to be sharing in the conversation, or what?
What great ideas you've come up with. My goodness. I'm going to look into that, a virtual background that we can all share. What happens is my genius, my creative technical genius in the background, she brands everything. She will give a title slide, and then I don't think each of the slides is, it's way too labor intensive to put it on each of the slides, but the title slide will have branding on it. But I really like your idea about a virtual background, and I will look into that to see if we can do something with the logo on the background. That'd be amazing. Thank you for that, Simon. Wow, you guys are amazing.
That is intriguing about having the essence of mastery, in the background. And yet I'm noticing, like, oh, what we're going to lose is each of our own personal brands showing up,
Well, you're not really losing your personal brand because
and our slide decks. I'm having some. Oh, wait a minute! I don't want to let go of everyone's individuality showing up and our own personal brands.
Did anybody want to add to that?
Well, that was a balloon puncture.
Well, you still get to brand it, even if the background of the summit is still there. You still get to, because after 2 years, right after the summit CEUs are expired, that's when you get to do whatever you want with it, as long as you give tribute to us. And this actually ensures that the tribute is there, so that makes it really easy.
True.
Yeah.
That's.
Ooh, Fran, we're losing you. Yeah. I think you've got some.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, so, and it's really ultimately your choice, Annie. This is your show.
I love Simon's idea. I think that's brilliant, and if I can do it, I think that's a great idea.
Well,
Yeah.
just to honor what you're asking, Fran, I'm wondering whether we share our logos, and I'm assuming each of us do share our logos with Nora and Kelly, and they can have a, essence of mastery, and somewhere as well they can put our individual logos. I mean, I think we bring our consistency in our own individuality with our words and who we are in that virtual background. So
I don't want to give Nora more work. She's
Okay.
got a lot of work as it is, and I don't even know if she can do the branding like on the background. So if she can, I think that's great, but I'm going to ask her to do one, not 10, or because then, it's
True.
too complicated.
And if not this year, next year.
We are always looking for ideas for next year.
Yeah, if you're swamped, swamped for this year, and there's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
Any other question?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see there are graphics which are already ready, which are like webinar wise, and then there are group wise. So are these all ready to be posted? We can pick them up, or how's it?
Oh, yeah. So have you looked into the promo center at all?
Yeah, I'm looking here only, and there is a folder which says graphic, and it has individual posters, and then it has group poster.
That's right.
So we're good to go, right? We can pick them up and.
And I also have a flyer that we created that we've advertised inside of International Coaching Week. And as well, I created an event I'm giving special prices to any ICF member as well. So it's advertised through ICF to the best of our ability. And whatever they're doing for International Coaching Week to promote it. We got quite a few participants last year from International Coaching Week, so I'm kind of counting on that happening again this year. But we've got 50,000 members in that organization, right? Like, what can we do to get the word out more to them?
Yeah, I think need to, I mean, at least for me, I'm reflecting, need to post more on LinkedIn. It was like once in a while, and then some emails went and something, but then it has to be more every week post kind of stuff with some, like we were talking, some conversation going on, some rationale, because I know when I circulated that to my database, coaches were coming back and say, ACC coaches saying, can I attend? And can I, PCC coaches saying, is it really mandatory? And I had to really answer that in a way that it is supportive.
You know,
So-
one of the things, Jaya, that we said in a conversation, I don't remember with who, I'm pretty sure Fran was there, is it's never too early to start on the MCC path. Once you've got an ACC, start on the MCC path, because what happens is, because it's such a huge leap between PCC and MCC, it's a lot of time to get into bad habits. But if they get into that, onto that coaching mastery path earlier than later, then they start to carve out a way of being, right? Because that's the coaching mastery path. It's a way of being. Never too early to do that.
Yeah, that's how I answered. So they were like, okay, should I do this? Or I said, don't ask me to choose your programs. I'm just telling you what this program brings to you. That's hard.
Right.
So, but yeah, I think some more narrative around why is this important together can really be a little more convincing, and more posts on LinkedIn is what I'm taking away for myself.
Well, so should we record something now and each of us talk about why, you know, what makes an MCC important to us?
Well, I changed. I'm ready.
I think that it's less about what makes it important to us and more, Annie, about what you were just saying about why that way of being should be important to them.
Yeah.
It's the stake in the ground that I have, and each of us
Yeah.
has. Yeah, I love that. Gideon, thank you for that refocusing. Yeah.
And I think that the why it's important to them is what matters in all of the marketing. I'm concerned that some of the messages that I sent out earlier resulted in people saying, "Oh, good job, you're in this essence of mastery." And it's like, I don't want to, you know, pat on the back for this. I want you to sign up. So
So maybe the words have to be something like an invitation to you to raise the bar on your coaching mastery skills.
yeah. You know, why does this August group think that you should feel called?
That's a great tweak, actually, an important tweak. Yeah, because the way we've written it is, look at me. Oh, and that's actually about, no, look at you. Look at this as an invitation to you to raise the bar on your coaching mastery skills. Join us. I'm going to be talking about. That's a great tweak, Gideon. Thank you for that. So what do you think? Should we have this conversation and record it?
Give it a shot.
Hiru, you've been very quiet. What do you have to say?
Yes, I'm okay. Sorry, just got some few things. I'm
he-
listening. Okay.
Okay. All righty.
So
So
do you want us to all rename ourselves to include credentials or no? And
yes,
also, one recommendation when you stop and record again is to put it in speaker view so that you'll get each speaker.
thank you. I will do that. I think that because I record it to the cloud on Zoom, so it'll automatically give me a choice of speaker or gallery, and I'll just get the speaker view, and we'll, what I'll do is,
I've not had that experience with Zoom.
really,
Yeah.
are we going to talk together, or are we going to just have one person at a time?
Maybe
I would
let's-
recommend that you tee up the question, Annie, and then we can take turns jumping in and speaking.
So I can stop and start the recording for each one, and I'll
Sure.
have separate ones.
Okay.
you will have to do a lot of editing in that case.
Yeah. And I just wonder whether there's an opportunity for it to be a very relaxed, we're really drawing the essence of what this means for each of us and the potential of what it stands for when folks, our participants are going to join in and have this be presented to them formally. So I think this ought to be a relaxed conversation where we're just jazzing together in no more than 90 seconds, because that's the video, no more than 90 seconds, and everybody takes responsibility and everybody has a voice in this virtual recording. That what we're saying is a contribution towards, here's what matters beyond the presentations. This is what matters, not just for a credential, it matters to why you are standing for your own mastery.
So what that makes me feel like is that we stay on video, all of us. So I won't do the stop start thing.
Yeah.
And we can pepper in and just have a conversation. And I'll leave it on speaker view, and then so that speaker will be highlighted, but that we're all in this, even in the gallery. So it will be speaker view, but with the gallery of all of us there as well. How does that feel? That feel good? Okay. All right, so let me craft the question. And then okay, so I'm going to just stop that recording.